All right, now we have gone through actually measuring our data, analyzing it, hopefully gotten to a little bit of insight, and now we want to actually take Google Analytics data and have a positive change or impact on our business in our organization. And this is what we're going to discuss in this lesson. All and more coming up right after this. Hey there and welcome back to the Google Analytics for Beginners course. My name is Julian and today we want to talk about how we can actually take data from Google Analytics and put it into action so we can change our website around or have positive behavioral impact on our organization. Now this is really about going full circle because once we have measured the data, analyzed it, we need to go into the optimization step and then start from the beginning of measuring again. Now in this optimization step, you actually need to go from just data to action and then hopefully to change that will positively impact your business, your website or your organization. So in order to do that, there are different techniques out there. Maybe it might be already really easy for you if you look at your AdWords data and see optimization points. I would go ahead and implement them right away. Only that way you will get results really from your data. But for others, it's not that easy. So I want to give you some more hints on what you could be doing with your Google Analytics data in order to get to the crucial action step and impact change. Now we got lots to cover, so let's dive in. Back in our Google Analytics account, we have analyzed our data and might already have generated some insight that can directly impact our behavior and generate change on our website to improve our results. But if you haven't come so far, then here are some tips on how we can take the next step in order to get to the action, to the change that we desire. Number one, reporting and presentation. Now, once you have the data in your account, you might need to show it to somebody else who can actually take the decision. Now, in some cases, you are actually not the one who can directly decide to change something on the website or impact the behavior of those who could really make a change. But the important thing is that you have generated the insight. Now you need to bring it to those people who actually can make the decision, the stakeholders, the decision makers in your company. Now, simply giving them access to Google Analytics wouldn't cut it because they would actually need to go through all the reporting themselves and try to generate the insights themselves. And Google Analytics is also not the best presentation tool when it comes to focusing the attention of the audience to the desired change that you might want to accomplish. And therefore, a lot of more advanced users use Google Analytics for quick research and reporting, but when it comes to actually analyzing the data and then reporting it back to the stakeholders, they oftentimes use the Google Analytics reporting API to actually download the data to a spreadsheet, for example, and then using the capabilities of a spreadsheet tool like Google Sheets to actually put it in the order that they wanted to and generate the insights and the reporting for later use. So one example of that would be our sample report here, where we can build a spreadsheet that actually gives us our KPIs, our most important numbers from Google Analytics, and puts them into an order that is easily understood and generated insights from. Now, obviously, you can use all the different capabilities of a spreadsheet tool to build visualizations and get further insights into your data, and even build a little bit of a dashboard inside of the spreadsheet tool that can help you to quickly visualize and analyze your data. Now, one of the tools that I would actually recommend to generate such reports is Supermetrics. It's a tool to quickly and easily download data from sources like Google Analytics into your Google Sheets spreadsheet and also keep it up to date so you can regularly revisit the reporting and automize it without having to go through the manual steps of downloading the data. A second tool that Google has brought to us recently is Google Data Studio. Now, Google Data Studio is a dashboarding software that lets you connect to different sources as well and directly download the data into a interactive dashboard to really present the data in a way that makes sense to the viewer and hopefully leads to change within the organization and action upon that data. Now, we have videos on how to build dashboards with Google Sheets and Google Data Studio, and we have linked that up in the description below. So these are great ways to actually take data and share it with the right people to make decisions and impact change in your organization. Now, the second part we want to discuss here is testing. Once you have identified a troublesome page on your website, for example, and generated some kind of hypothesis on why this page might not be performing as well as other pages, you can obviously go ahead and change that page around, recheck with the numbers and see whether it has impacted your performance towards your goals. But a more thorough way to actually testing your assumptions would be to run an A/B test. Now, there are testing suites out there such as Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, but also the recently published Google Optimize that lets you change around certain elements on your shop easily through this drag and drop editor, and then lets you run a split test on your users that would show the original version to 50% of the users and 50% the variant that you have built. And that way you can test your hypothesis and find out whether one or the other version performs better, which will then in turn inform your decision to make a change happen on your website as well. So also a very useful tool that can help you to get to action with your data. And we have a tutorial on that as well, which we will link up in the description. Now, last, I want to talk about a feature that is really great within the capabilities of Google Analytics and the Google Marketing Suite as a whole, and these are traffic actions. Now, if you have Google Analytics connected to a Google AdWords account, which you have to enable in your account, you actually are able now to use your custom segments that we have discussed in our last lesson and can use them to send them to Google AdWords as an audience. And then you will be able to use them as an audience in your AdWords account to run retargeting on this defined user group. Really a quick way to take your custom audiences that you have defined in Google Analytics and make them useful to you in your marketing efforts through AdWords. So if you notice any kind of special group through your analysis that it is worth retargeting, then simply set up a custom audience that you can then send over to AdWords. Now, if you wanted to do the same with other marketing vendors that are not connected to Google Analytics, such as Facebook, you could easily try to rebuild the actual audience that you have defined in your segments builder inside of Google Tag Manager and then fire a Facebook pixel, for example, upon the desired interaction. That way you can make the data that you have in Google Analytics actionable through defining an audience that you want to retarget in the future. All right, so there you have it. These are the different action steps that I would give you to go from data in Google Analytics to actual action and then hopefully change within your organization or your website. Now, they are by no means all of the techniques that are out there. You could obviously look at your data right away and change your AdWords campaign around. That could have a huge impact on the overall performance of your AdWords campaign. Now, it obviously depends on how you can use that data in your business. So I would dig around a little bit more and try to find these crucial points that can actually take you from just data to actual change within your organization. And that's how you go really full circle of measuring your data, then analyzing it and optimizing your website based on that. Then start again from the beginning, measuring, analyzing and optimizing. Now, if you have any more questions about this, then don't be shy. Leave us a comment down below. And if you like this video, then give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel because we're bringing you new lessons just like this one every week. And if you're ready, we can wrap up our Google Analytics for Beginners course. Click on this video up there where we're going to quickly recap, and then I'm going to give you some more resources where you can find out more about Google Analytics. Now, my name is Julian. See you in the next lesson.